Let's further discuss this now with Churchill Ogutu, an economist focused on the Africa region, and he has more on the latest situation there in Kenya. Thank you so much for being with us here on the program. Now, Kenyans, they want this bill to be scrapped, but the government doesn't seem like it's willing to do that, given that it's been passed through Parliament. Walk us through the contentious issues of this bill and why the government is moving forward with it.
Yes, there have been quite a number of contentious clauses within the finance bill. One of them was now the motor vehicle circulation tax, which was now proposing to charge a 2.5% on all the value of the vehicles. That was under the income tax. But a whole raft of tax proposals were within the income value added tax, which is an indirect tax. 16%, basically standard rating the bread from 0% to 16% was one of the main contentious, and a whole host of other tax proposals within the financial services. And all these were part of the IMF program. Remember that Kenya has been within an IMF program from April 2021 and is coming to an end next year. And one of the things was now focusing on revenue-raising measures as one of the conditions. And herein we've seen a number of efforts by the government authorities to be able to increase the tax revenue within the economy. So that has filtered through the previous finance bills ever since we've been within the IMF program, and that obviously hasn't been taken positively by citizens, and hence that's why they've been clamoring in the streets.
So how will this increase have an impact on Kenyans, particularly the younger generation who've become a large part of these very intense protests?
Youth unemployment is quite rampant in Kenya. And then you find that a number of the tax proposals touching on consumption as you go to shop, and also some of them are also the nascent areas such as digital space, whereby we've seen there's been a number of creatives coming in within that particular area. So there's been increasing tax proposal measures towards the direct consumption, value added tax, and also some of these newer spaces where the youth are in. So that now speaks to the fact that now the youths have been quite vocal this time round in terms of trying to contest the finance bill. And also, one other feature within the the legislative process in Kenya is that there's normally a vibrant public participation, whereby when the bill is first introduced in Parliament, there's an opportunity for the public to come and give their views. But time and again, case in point, last year, there was a particular proposal around affordable housing levy. Most of the people who participated in the public participation rejected the idea around affordable housing because it was a levy that is charged for people who are employed to go towards building some of these houses. But it was rejected, or people were not of that idea. But MPs pushed it through, and it went through, but it was challenged in court. So those kind of scenarios hasn't given comfort to the citizens, that even the public participation is pretty much a mockery rather than an active process whereby the citizens can be able to give their views. Hence now they've been going to the streets.
Right, and this does put Ruto in the spotlight. Is there some sort of dissatisfaction with the way that he's been dealing with this whole process? What are his supporters saying compared to those who don't support him?
I think by and large, you can say that President Ruto has come to a middle ground of sorts, because the initial finance bill and what has actually been passed a few moments ago has been, we can see some concessions. They have removed the standard rating of the bread. They have removed the motor vehicle circulation tax, and a whole host of other contentious clauses have been dropped. So at least President Ruto has come to the middle ground. But that notwithstanding, I think what the protesters are telling us is there's more than meets the eye around the finance bill. It's talking about even the wasteful expenditure that is now on the expenditure side, because the finance bill caters on the financing side, but this financing has to go to the expenditure side. So there's been corruption issues. There's been some rampant wastefulness by some of the top ministers and also some of the pro-government allied MPs. So that is what even some of these protesters are calling. And that I don't think has been addressed. And that now speaks to the fact that even Ruto had extended an olive arm to at least have discussions with the youth to be able to address some of their concerns, which are even beyond the finance bill.
All right, economist Churchill Ogutu, thank you so much for putting that into perspective for us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.